Spinning Heel Hook asks, which is better, striking base for MMA, Muay Thai, or the whole thing just disappeared, or Dutch kickboxing? Thank you.
Ooh, I mean, this is a good one, John. Like, what's your take on it?
You know, it's a variety. When you sit there and you talk about, I don't think that Muay Thai is the best style for MMA, even though most MMA fighters do Muay Thai. They practice Muay Thai type kicks, and the actual functions of Muay Thai, the techniques are great, but the way that a Muay Thai fighter establishes the fight and stands in one place and is lifting a leg doesn't really work for MMA in that style. Dutch kickboxers seem to have a harder style, and it seems to work better for MMA, as if you're going to just move one style over. I would say it's the better style, but it's a combination of everything. And that's what, it's why it's called mixed martial arts. You can go back in time when it was, it was called NHB in the beginning, no holds barred. And that was, we tried to get away from it. It was one of the things that Jeff Blatnick helped, I thought, in helping the sport grow, as he continually pushed the term of mixed martial arts, because it was a mixing of all the martial arts, all the techniques that could work at the time were what people were trying. And then people came along and started putting in techniques that in the beginning, in your training, you were told, never try that, never do that. That's stupid. That'll only get you in trouble. And then someone came along and started doing it. And then all of a sudden everyone switched over and they went to it. But, there's no one specific stand-up style. There's techniques in boxing that work in MMA. There's techniques in Muay Thai that work in MMA. There's techniques in a Dutch style kickboxer that work in MMA. But if you relegate yourself to just one of them, you're going to be missing out on things that your opponent might be bringing towards you in the cage. And so you just take the best of what there is and try to take it and meld it into your style in the cage. That's what, you don't have to be the best at anything. You just have to be, someone that is good with everything.
GSP proved that. You don't have to be the best boxer, kickboxer, or jiu-jitsu or wrestler. He was just better at certain parts of and was able to exploit the other people's games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go along with yours because I'm a believer in what you're saying. I believe that you take the best parts of what works for you. Everyone's body is different, and so whatever I can do doesn't mean that Joe Blow down the road can do.
Right.
Okay, like there was things, obviously I'm not going to teach a heavyweight the same way that they teach me. Like my coach is not going to, Javier Mendez is not going to go, hey Kane, do this. Hey Josh, do this. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It even relates to the wrestling atmosphere. Is takedowns that DC uses are definitely not the takedowns that I use.
You can't use those.
There's some similar. No, I can't do his techniques because I need fat and weight to do it.
You need
and a lot of technique.
But there is strength involved with what he does because he likes high crotching people and dumping them on their head.
Yeah,
and he's great at it.
He's phenomenal, man. Like I know I like to bust DC's balls, his Kung Fu Panda, and all the other things, but man, the guy is extremely athletic. When he exploded onto the scene in the Strike Force realm, how fast he was for looking the way he looked, like a little Teletubby kind of thing. But man, the guy had fast hands, and I've told this story before on this podcast. He's a fucking gamer.
Yeah,
that guy was a fucking gamer. Like think about him coming off, the wrestling mat and then coming in the gym and him fighting right away. I'm ready to fight. As soon as he got in shape, I'm ready to fight. This guy he had 5 or 6 fights in 1 year just because he was trying to get to Strike Force as fast as possible. He had fought, I think he won the King of the Cage title or the Cage Warrior title. He won some small title he won. And then that was up on the wall. And it was kind of like a joke. Like he's like, I'm going to get to the other one. And then he finally obviously did. Strike Force, tournament champion or whatever it was. And then also UFC champion. But I mean, yeah, he's just one of those guys that I think really blew up. But his style was that he learned and progressively got better and picked and chose what worked for him. For me, John, I'm going to say this. I got to say I was the guy that did what you just said. No, don't do that shit. It's going to get you in trouble. But let's take a look at the guys that have done certain things. Lyoto Machida, MVP, Stephen Thompson.
No doubt about it.
Like those, Alfie Davis, who just won the lightweight, tournament or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those 4 guys, that karate/taekwondo style is a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Fighters don't know how to deal with that. And if you can get as good as them, and that's a lifetime of work that they've put in, but you've got to get as good as that. And then you add the things, the wrestling takedown defense, a couple little submissions here and there, like, getting up off your back. But they have evolved the game. They've taken it to that level of, and I think that's why guys like Usman and Umar are so good, because they have that Taekwondo style kickboxing and boxing, but then they have the wrestling that goes along with it. And now getting better with the grappling and the submissions. That style is dangerous, super difficult to deal with. So you say Dutch kickboxing, you say like Muay Thai, you pick and choose from those, right? What works well. And I think those are great things to add into your toolbox. But if I'm gonna have to lean one way, I'm going to have to lean more towards the karate and taekwondo style, only based on the fact that even to this day, fighters have not figured it out. How is a guy who's 38 years old, even Lyoto Machida, when he was 40, still fighting, they're still having a hard time with that shit.
So, but you have to be honest and look at it. And I agree with you as far as those guys in particular that you're naming. They give people fucking headaches. But each one of them, when they started out, couldn't handle anybody in MMA once they got grabbed a hold of and put on the ground. And so they all said, I need to learn this. Mm-hmm. And Stephen Thompson learned how to wrestle. He used Chris Weidman, his brother-in-law, as a big, help in being able to become a defensive wrestler, a guy that was difficult to take down. Michael Venom Page, if you talk about a guy that's open to everything, wanting to learn, here's a guy that spent nothing but time on the mats, wanting to be good, both on top, on his back, being able to stop takedowns, all those things. Lyoto Machida becomes a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Even though he's not the greatest black belt, I've seen him compete in tournaments in BJJ. So, all these guys had to get another level of the grappling in their game to be efficient at what they do, because they couldn't just go out and be that karate guy or that taekwondo specialist or the point fighter like a Venom Page or a Stephen Thompson, both point fighting and full contact. They had to learn the things that made up mixed martial arts. They had to learn the grappling. They had to learn the wrestling, because if they didn't, as good as they are on their feet, as soon as someone gets into them, and eventually someone does, then they're a sitting duck. But once they learned those things, now they became dangerous to everybody.
But that wasn't the question. The question was about the kickboxing, correct? Like which one?
Well, they named Dutch kickboxing and Muay Thai, okay. So I used those two things.
Got it.
You expanded it, and rightfully so.
Okay, I thought they were just talking about which stand-up is the best, and I was like, right now in this day and age, even though elbows and knees are all very critical, okay, but like if I can't get a hold of you, fucking, it's got to be that taekwondo stuff. But that's you've got to work extremely hard for years to get to that level to be able to do it in MMA.
Yeah,
we saw guys in the early years when they were like, oh, they were the grandmasters and all this other bullshit that came along with it. Then they got fucking taken down and destroyed.
Yes. That's like the whole point.
Yeah, but now like these guys have really evolved that karate style.
You can go back and then people aren't going to remember, but UFC 2 had a guy named Ray Wizard, who was from out in California. I knew him, and super fast, super good on all the tournament scenes with karate and all these different things. But he got beat by Pat Smith with a guillotine choke because he didn't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
And so you look and you go, okay, you've got to have more than just that one style. You can't be that one style pony and think you're going to win, especially in today's MMA. Yeah. Back in the early days, it was possible you could be a one style guy like a Hoist and you can win, but not in today's game.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like you take the best jiu-jitsu guys and they still need to work on some sort of strike. Oh. Adolfo Vieira now, one of the probably best guys in terms of tournament style of jiu-jitsu. Still can't do it. Can't do it. So Element, the best hydration drink in the business. I had
In
citrus
the
earlier today.
business.
It's actually fantastic. And now they're making the lemonade salt in the can. Cannot wait. So if you guys use that link down below in the descriptions, they'll send you a bonus package with every single purchase. That's compliments of the Wayne In podcast. So hope you guys enjoy that.